Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're diving into the latest royal news that's making headlines across the UK. Prince William is facing a challenging PR situation after a recent investigation brought to light some surprising details about the earnings from his private estate, the Duchy of Cornwall. It's a story that has stirred public reaction, and we're here to break down what's happened, the controversy surrounding it, and how Prince William is addressing the issue. So, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more royal updates, and let's get into it. A recent investigation by the Mirror and Channel 4's dispatches has revealed eye-opening figures regarding Prince William's private estate, the Duchy of Cornwall. The estate, which has a 700-year history, reported substantial earnings for the Prince of Wales. According to the report, the estate generated an impressive £24 million, which included income from contracts with public bodies and charities. While these earnings might sound like a positive achievement on the surface, the controversy lies in the methods by which the income was obtained. The investigation uncovered that the duchy's earnings were, in part, a result of what some are calling exploiting unjust and feudal rights. These archaic rights have raised questions among critics who believe the revenue stems from outdated practices that don't align with modern standards of fairness and transparency. Furthermore, the investigation highlighted that the duchy earned millions from its lease agreement with the Ministry of Justice for Dartmoor Prison. The 25-year lease reportedly brings in around £37 million, adding to the estate's revenue. This financial arrangement has stirred debate about whether such deals are appropriate for a royal estate and what kind of message they send to the public, particularly as many of these earnings are derived from properties that serve the public sector. As a response to the growing public scrutiny, Prince William has launched a new initiative as part of his ongoing commitment to address homelessness across the UK. Earlier this year, William unveiled a 5-year program aimed at ending homelessness, a cause he has long been passionate about. Now, in light of the investigation's findings, he's pledged to improve the standards of the rental properties owned by the Duchy of Cornwall. This commitment comes as he acknowledges that everyone has a right to a safe and stable home. The initiative includes a promise to transform damaged and substandard rental properties within the Duchy to meet the UK's minimum legal standards for housing. This announcement aims to reassure the public that the properties owned by the royal estate will be held to the same standards expected of any private landlord. By addressing these issues, William hopes to show that he's serious about tackling the UK's housing crisis and that he's willing to take concrete steps to make improvements where needed. However, some critics have expressed doubts about the sincerity of this pledge, suggesting that it may be more of a public relations move than a meaningful commitment to change. These concerns have been amplified by statements from some of the Duchy's tenants, who have shared their experiences living in what they describe as poorly maintained homes. While Prince William's pledge has been well received by some, several tenants of the Duchy of Cornwall have voiced their frustrations about the living conditions they currently face. Speaking with media outlets, they described the rental properties as cold and poorly insulated, and some even reported that their homes lack central heating. In these cases, tenants are left relying on expensive solid fuels to stay warm, which adds to their living expenses, particularly during colder months. One tenant, in particular, spoke to Property Industry Eye, expressing disappointment with what they perceive as slick PR from the royal estate. They questioned why the estate is making promises to improve housing conditions now, instead of having already ensured that their properties met modern standards. This tenant's sentiments reflect a broader concern among residents who feel that more needs to be done to bring the Duchy's properties in line with current housing standards. These criticisms raise an important question. How will Prince William's promise to improve rental properties play out in reality? For many tenants, the pledge is a positive first step, but they're waiting to see concrete changes that improve their day-to-day living conditions. Whether or not the Prince of Wales can meet these expectations will likely play a significant role in shaping public perception of his leadership within the Duchy. The Duchy of Cornwall holds a unique place in the British monarchy. Established in 1337 by Edward III, the estate was created to provide a source of income for the Prince of Wales, who is traditionally the heir to the throne. The duchy includes an impressive portfolio of land and property assets, which span across several counties in England. Today, it consists of more than 600 rental properties, along with farmland, commercial sites, and natural resources. In recent years, there's been a growing interest in how the duchy operates, particularly as it pertains to questions of transparency and accountability. While the estate is privately owned by the Prince of Wales, it's subject to public scrutiny due to its considerable influence and its connection to national heritage. This latest investigation has only amplified calls for the duchy to ensure that its practices are fair and that it maintains high standards in all of its dealings, especially those involving public resources and vulnerable communities. Prince William has made it clear that he intends to modernize the duchy, focusing on sustainability and social impact. However, as this recent controversy demonstrates, managing such a vast estate comes with complex responsibilities. Balancing tradition with a modern approach that resonates with public expectations is no small task, and William's ability to navigate these challenges will likely play a crucial role in defining his tenure as the Duke of Cornwall. The investigation into the duchy's earnings has sparked a range of reactions from the public. On one hand, there are those who believe that as the heir to the throne, Prince William should be held to a higher standard, and that the duchy should be fully transparent in its operations. They argue that income derived from public contracts and properties should be handled with the utmost integrity, and that the duchy should avoid any practices that might appear exploitative. Others, however, view the estate's earnings as a natural part of its function, and believe that Prince William's promises to address housing standards show a commitment to responsible management. For supporters, William's recent initiatives reflect a dedication to social causes and a willingness to address issues head-on, even if they involve his own estate. Ultimately, the long-term impact of this controversy will depend on how effectively Prince William follows through on his pledges to improve the duchy's properties, and whether the estate can shift its focus to a more socially conscious approach. For many, the hope is that William's tenure as Duke of Cornwall will usher in a new era of transparency and public accountability. Prince William's pledge to improve the duchy's rental properties represents a potential turning point for the estate. As he continues his 5-year program to end homelessness and his new initiative to raise housing standards, all eyes will be on the prince to see how these plans develop. His response to this recent controversy could set an important precedent for the future, signaling a shift towards a more socially aware and responsible management of the duchy. If successful, these changes could solidify William's reputation as a modern royal who's not afraid to confront difficult issues, even those within his own domain. However, if the promises go unfulfilled, it could fuel further criticism and raise questions about his leadership. Only time will tell how this chapter in the duchy's history unfolds, but it's clear that Prince William is taking the public's concerns seriously, and he's working to make meaningful changes. And that wraps up today's video on the latest developments with Prince William and the Duchy of Cornwall. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Do you think Prince William's response